Angelica Page may be new to the world of the League of Professional Theater Women, but she is by no means new to the world of theater, and we're lucky enough to talk with her for a couple minutes. How you doing?
Hi. Glad to be here.
It's a little wet outside, right?
It is. Stormy thunder, lightning, very dramatic.
Thunder crack. I have to tell you that I'm very, very inspired and pleased to see you as a representative of the theater community and having the lineage that you do, the theatrical lineage. I'm sure that there's nobody in the entertainment business that doesn't know, to a degree, the slippery slope that it can be being an offspring of somebody famous.
Yeah,
or two people.
Two monsters, two greats. In London, it's really interesting because if you're the child of theater legends, you're expected to go into the theater. But in the States, it's viewed, rather than lineage, it seems to be viewed more like nepotism. And I like to say that for every door that's been opened for me, two more have slammed in my face. So I just put my boots on and keep kicking. So
strengthen that shell.
Yeah, and also, though it seems sometimes like I've had to be twice as talented, three times as responsible, sins of the father and all that. So, it's people expect certain things and one has to then reinvent a whole new way of being perceived. So.
Well, that's the thing. The fame monster, as I guess we can call it.
Yes, that was my nickname when I was little. My nickname was Gaga. And my dad said to me when I was on tour for August Osage County when it went on its first national tour, Lady Gaga was doing her tour. And he said, "She stole your thunder, she stole your name." And I said, "Well, I can't be on every tour. I need help because it's a Gaga nation, Dad, and you just need to get used to it." But yes,
I can see a lot of people going Gaga over you.
I hope so. That would be fun.
The fame monster, if you will, or the entity of celebrity is such a strange creature in this country and seems to have kind of evolved in a very strange way, and unfortunately not in a way that necessarily facilitates great respect for one's history and learning one's history. Do you find that frustrating?
Well, not frustrating, just annoying. Well, I guess frustrating, annoying is frustrating. I don't know. But it's just annoying because I just try to shelter myself from it. I'm really sensitive. I try to be very careful about what I let through my filter system so that I can really take in stuff that's going to be really useful to my own process as an artist and not gum up the works with crap. And unfortunately,
we've all done that, right? Gummed up the works with crap.
Sure. Can't do very much of that anymore. So the thing about the celebrity system is that it is crap. And so it's annoying. I try to stay away from it. The press circuit and it's very important to know how to be a celebrity, but the main thing for me is to be an artist first and know how to give to your public and know how to deal with the press in a really respectful way and to not be in it just to get attention, because that's just really shallow.
And it seems to be all too easy to do if you have enough money to buy a certain kind of fame that more often than not doesn't last.
Right. Well, you can buy that, but you can't buy respect. So I just try to keep my nose clean and do beautiful work and be as generous as possible and support charities.
There is such an amazing embodiment of inspiring people that have touched your life, that you've grown up with and have often been secondary and third and fourth parents, right?
Yeah, I like to say, though, I avoided the limelight for a good portion of my early years. I like to say that I made my stage debut on the West End in my mother's womb. She was pregnant with me when she performed in Three Sisters, which was an actor's studio theater production directed by Lee Strasberg. And I'm now a board member of the actor's studio. And because I lost my mother at I consider a young age, I was in my early 20s, I've been really blessed to have certain incredible people in the industry become surrogate mothers to me. One is Estelle Parsons and the other is Elizabeth Ashley. But just growing up with Tennessee Williams coming over for dinner, and Terry Southern and Paul Newman, I've been really, really blessed and really, really spoiled. So,
What was it like chewing the scenery with Estelle Parsons in August Osage County on the road?
she chewed all the scenery. I couldn't. How could I chew any? There was none left. I'm lucky to be alive.
So she didn't pin you down and sit on you as she said to do?
No, no, but
Almost.
yeah, no. She pinned me down psychologically. Psychologically.
How about the great Kim Stanley? You had a chance to get to know her a little bit, didn't you?
Kim Stanley was just one of my great idols when I was a child, and still is. She was one of the most remarkably connected artists to her emotions, and the way she was able to connect her physical body to her emotions was something that I draw a lot of inspiration from, and I like to think that I'm able to draw from that and for my own work. It's something that I hope I'm able to always connect to as well.
Well, she definitely battled some demons, and as far as alcoholism, and I think that's another reason why it's so inspiring, just to see the path that you are choosing, and you know, your respect for your lineage and your respect for the theater and the work that you do. It's really wonderful.
And my choice to stay away from alcohol. Yeah.
Everything in moderation, if that's possible.
Yeah. Well, I just found I was a wild child, and I did a little bit more than moderate use of certain things.
Did you really stalk Sid Vicious?
Well, I did, and then I ended up going out with his roadie, who was known as Kid Vicious. That's how much I stalked Sid Vicious, that I went out with Kid Vicious. So.
Wow.
I saw him play his last gig at Max's. Nancy Spungen threatened to cut my face open with a straight edge razor if I came near Sid again. So I guess I really was a stalker.
And apparently he liked you a lot more than you might have thought.
I don't know.
Seeing that you're still alive and she's not.
I don't, yeah, maybe. I just thought he's maybe probably too high to notice me.
Oh, well. I worked on a pretty amazing documentary as unit production manager, which you might have seen, called Broadway, the Golden Age.
I did see it.
It was Fay Wray's last film.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And I was very fortunate to get to know her a little bit before she passed. And her daughter, Susan Riskin, I have to tell you, was the understudy to Elizabeth Ashley, and had some wonderful stories about actually going on and getting to work with your mom. And Agnes of God.
God on Broadway. I saw that 36 times.
Wow.
Yep. Every Saturday night, I'd sit in the balcony. Not the balcony, that little, what is it even called? One of the boxes at the Music Box Theater.
Amazing show.
Yeah, it was.
Now, this is a little bit of a hot box question, so let me know what you think. Lee Strasberg he and Marlon Brando seem to have a bit of a tumultuous relationship, at the very least.
Well, I think both those guys had tumultuous relationships with everybody, but...
The history of the Actors Studio, how would you describe its evolvement? I'm assuming is the trajectory with which Lee Strasberg would teach was a hard-edged one. I guess that's probably a safe assumption.
It's a little softer and friendlier now, I think. I mean, I wasn't around in a real way during the years that Lee was running the studio. I was around in a peripheral way, and I would take naps on my mom's lap and stuff like that, but I wasn't consciously paying attention. I was absorbing a lot through osmosis. But we've got a really great MFA program. We have wonderful new members, a whole crop of new members that have just come in who are really hot and exciting. And I try to go into actually work in session as often as possible with finalists who are with us for the year to give them a chance to really come up against something.
You tore it up in Anna Christie.
Now that I got to chew the scenery because Estelle Parsons wasn't on stage with me, but she was a great mentor to that play, and she made me a member of the Actors Studio. So.
And Ellen Burstyn is still a member, right?
She is not only a member, she is one of our presidents and our East Coast artistic director.
She's going up in a new play right now, isn't she? About to?
Yeah, she's in rehearsals right now.
That's exciting. She's another one that's just. I just watched Resurrection for the first time and wept like 5 times on account of her. Amazing.
She's pure magic. Pure magic.
It'd be great to see you and she work together one day.
Yeah, I have a new film that I've been asked to star in and produce, and I'm going to ask her to play my mom. So we'll see. We'll see if we did a reading of a play together where we played mother and daughter. It was really exciting. So I think it'd be a nice pairing.
Absolutely. With starting your answer in the same way you did with mentioning it, how did you come about getting turned on to the League of Professional Theater Women?
I was asked to be a member of the League of Professional Theater Women by a wonderful director named Ludovica Villarhauser, who directed me in a couple of stage readings. One was about Eleonora Duse, and the other was about Leni Riefenstahl. And I think something else, I can't remember, but she's just wonderful. I hope to work with her some more too. And Daryl Roth, who produced an early play of mine about Sylvia Plath. There's just Estelle Parsons was one of my sponsors, and it's just we're turning 30 this year, and it's just a great resource for women in the profession. So much support.
And so much growth. I mean, I think there's close to 500 members now or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't checked the numbers. I'm a new member, but I'm doing all my research and learning as much as I can. And there's just theater development and lectures, but the support to have this many women who are so supportive of each other and of our process, it makes my heart sing.
It's huge. It's fascinating, I think, if you kind of the juxtaposition between the path that you're walking down and the path that your mom walked down as far as the hats that you've worn or didn't necessarily choose to wear in the entertainment industry. It's huge difference. I mean, you're working as an active producer and a director and wearing many hats, whereas in the earlier era, actors didn't necessarily choose to do that.
Yes, I'm not sure. With my mother, she obviously chose to be an actress and not to produce actively. She did a lot of things behind the scenes, though, to get things started, and I guess you probably could call her a producer, but I don't know if it's the era. Right. So now I get a little bit more control over stuff like that, and I'll be prudent with my power.
I know you will. As a filmmaker, I am astounded by the number of amazing films that I see coming out that never get a theatrical release. It seems like it's more common. That's more of a common denominator than the other way around, which is such a fascinating, kind of 360-degree evolution in the business, putting a lot of power, I think, into the hands of the indie filmmakers and stuff, which for me is inspiring and exciting, because as great as a theatrical release is, it doesn't necessarily mean that you, with hard work and dedication and a good team, can't get that work off the ground. And, it's just a different chapter, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's, there's give and take. There's things that are so much better about the industry now because it's easier to make a film. When I made Lucky Days, I was able to make it for $200,000, which is practically impossible, but we did it. When it was first budgeted 10 years before, it was a $2 million budget. And it wouldn't have been able to be made for less than that. But because of our technology, it gives us so much more freedom. And the theatrical release, though it's beautiful and old-fashioned and we love it and it's fancy and all that, it's just so many people don't go to the theaters anymore. They have built their own theaters in their homes. They digital stream whatever they want. And there's just, I think that it's moving in the direction, obviously, that it needs to.
But there seems to be no shortage of great films.
No. I mean, there's just, we're super lucky to have such beautiful stuff to watch.
Well, we're super lucky to have you, Angelica.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us. And congratulations again.